What's going on, guys? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I'm checking out the Goodskrew Zirconcrete Bit Driver, which is a standard kind of quarter-inch bit driver from Goodskrew, and super cool. I have it sitting on top of the Tinkerforce part tray, and which is a super modular part tray. All these pieces are individually selectable. You buy the tray itself for around 22 bucks, and then all of the pieces are like 5 to 15 bucks, and you can add in exactly what you want. They have wash stands. They have, this is specifically made for the JRW Curator, but I have some other stuff in there as well. You have just kind of these screw trays, pen holders, bit driver holders, all kinds of different things, which are super cool and super cheap, very reasonably priced, which getting back to the Goodskrew bit driver is not what I would call reasonably priced. In fact, it's quite expensive at $170, which is a bit insane for a bit driver, but it's also super cool, very functional still, made out of high quality materials, excellent fit and finish, but it's a luxury item. If you're looking for a bit driver, it serves the exact function of something like this, which I think is around $20 for this pen style bit driver. It stores additional bits in the handle, or even something like this, which is kind of similar in function. It has a spinning head on a bearing that lets you turn the bit driver a little bit easier. You just push that into your hand. You're able to apply a lot of force on there and not really relinquish any grip, which is really nice. This one doesn't spin for nearly as long, maybe a second and a half, as the Goodskrew version, but those are both much cheaper than the Goodskrew version. And so if you're just looking for something functional that'll get the job done, there's much cheaper options. Even in these two, you can get one for 8 bucks. But if you want something cool that you can kind of show off, made of premium materials with an excellent fit and finish, and just something fun, this is definitely that. So let's get into the box before we go on too much longer. And right up top, you have some kind of literature about it. You get a Goodskrew sticker. This one was in the bit driver box, but there was a couple others in the just mailing package as well. Goodskrew, go screw yourself on the sticker. Super fun sticker, and that's kind of a theme here. They're pretty lighthearted and humorous with their branding, and so it's kind of refreshing to see. Here's the certificate of legitness, which you can pause and read if you'd like, but I'm not gonna read it on camera, as well as the official collector card, which tells you about the product, the design, which again, this one's a zirconcrete, the material is zirconium, the manufacturing date, which was March 23rd of 2022, as well as the serial number, and then the driver itself. And I'm gonna get this box out of the way, which again is a really good looking box, but just gonna move that off to the side for now. So onto the driver. This is in their zirconcrete material, which I've mentioned a few times here. Inside is zirconium, but it's coated in this proprietary zirconcrete. And so I wasn't sure what that was, and the website didn't say a lot about it. It's obviously meant to mimic the material of concrete. It's not as rough, but you definitely get like that kind of grippiness. Again, not like sandy by any means, but a little bit grippier than some other tools. And they get the look right as well. It looks really nice, and kind of a darker kind of gunmetal concrete, if anything, but still a really cool looking tool. And I chose this one over some of their more flashy models because it's just kind of more utilitarian. It still looks awesome, but it also looks like a tool. A lot of their other models are really flashy. And this one's $170, which is up there in price, very similar to, you know, if you want a Damascus one with the anodized or an anodized titanium, just kind of any of the other premium materials that are a lot more flashy are very similar price. So you're not getting a discount because this one's utilitarian, but it's still made of the same premium material, so it makes sense that you're not saving any money on that. Up top, you might be able to see the logo here on the side, and then the rest of it is just kind of a standard looking vertical, or I guess horizontal, depending on how you're looking at it, milling, and then on the point where you're gripping it, so that you put the head right into kind of the palm of your hand, and you're able to spin it. Where your fingers hit, the lines go direction, this vertical direction, so that you have a better grip. Or again, I guess depending on how you look at it, horizontal, but either way, it changes directions there, so you have a better grip and are able to spin and control that a little bit better. On the top here, this is removable and you can get down to the bearing. They recommend not lubricating the bearing just because it can affect how well it spins, and depending on the lube, might not be as compatible with the bearing that they use. And so they recommend not adding additional lubricant or cleaning it out, just so you don't add grittiness to the bearing. And then for washing, just to wipe it down with light soap and water. But it does spin really well, and there are these tritium inserts, 6 of them, so you can insert whatever color of tritium you want if you want to add some additional customization. And then also in the box, I already mentioned, you get 2 additional stickers as well as 24 complimentary bits. And so that's 12 here, which are 3 Phillips, 2 flathead, and 7 hex bits. And the brand on all of these is BROPPE, B-R-O-P-P-E, and then each one's individually labeled and engraved on there, as well as 12 Torx bits. So this is a newer addition. They didn't used to come with the Torx bits, just the standard general bits. But I think they get a lot of feedback, both from YouTubers and customers, that they're using them for knife assembly and disassembly, and that it would be helpful if they came with Torx bits, and they listened and obviously sent those over. And so it's really nice actually that these are kind of a longer one, so they give you a little bit extra reach on here over standard bits. And that matters a little bit because this driver is a little bit thick. I guess not much thicker than most drivers, but about 0.47 inches right here at the tip. And so if you have something thinner, that extended bit can get you a little bit of extra reach without kind of running into problems. I guess, like I said, a lot of bits are about that thickness, so not the biggest deal in the world. But the other thing that it does is it gives you a lot of area to grip and pull this out. The magnet in there is decent, not overly strong, but decent. And so with a standard bit, which I have some of the Weha 1/4 inch bits here, these do sit a little bit deeper in there, in fact quite a bit deeper. So you get a lot less reach, and then also a lot less purchase on the bit itself to remove them. So it's a little bit more difficult, not that bad honestly, but for different shapes, these Torx ones, there's a lot of kind of surface area to grip on. If you're doing like a Phillips or something with a lot of sharp edges, it might not be as easy, but it's not too bad, but it's something to keep in mind. But it will work with any standard 1/4 inch hex bits, and so that's really nice as well. I'm going to go ahead and give this a spin while I'm talking about it, just so you can get a sense of how long it will spin for. I'm not timing it, but you're welcome to. So overall, it's 129 grams, which is about 4.55 ounces. And again, this is made in Hong Kong, so all of the measurements are going to be in metric because everyone but us uses a metric system, but I convert them all over. So it's 97 millimeters long, which is about 3.82 inches. The bearing top is about 26 millimeters in diameter, which is 1.02 inches. And then I already mentioned the tip is a 12 millimeter diameter, or 0.47 inches. So good size here. They do make a smaller one. There's the basic model, which is the Lil Beach, which I think is 76 millimeters long, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. I didn't add that one to my notes since I don't actually have that one. But I believe it's about 76 millimeters, so 20 or so millimeters shorter. And then most of the other models are this 97 millimeter length. And so that's kind of the standard length, which is a really good length, again, especially with these extended bits. I did have some questions about the coating, because they have a regular zirconium material, which in itself is very like corrosion resistant, really hardy kind of material, and pretty expensive material. But they decided to coat this one in this concrete-like coating, which didn't have a lot of details outside of that it was trying to mimic concrete. And I did say it was a proprietary blend of barium sulfate vinyl coating, which is mainly used for radiation shielding, actually. So this is pretty much bomb-proof. Obviously not if dropped directly on it, but it will protect the zirconium from radiation. So not the intended purpose, of course. It was mainly just to mimic that concrete material. So I did also ask about how that affects the spinning, because obviously concrete's kind of a rougher material and I wasn't sure if it affected the mechanics of it at all. And they said it actually seems to spin a bit longer than some of the other tools, and they think the reason for that is the coating adds a little bit of extra heft around the furthest part away from the bearing, which gives it a little bit more kind of oomph when you spin it. And then also that because it's a little bit grippier than some of the other materials, you're able to get more purchase and get a better spin. And so that does kind of contribute to that. But yeah, overall I've been super happy with this. I haven't used it for any heavy use. I did throw a few different bits in there and kind of unscrewed and screwed some random things in my house. But I haven't done anything serious with it at this point. But overall, super happy with it. And you know, it's a bit driver. It's going to function like a bit driver. I have no doubt that it will function well. And I also, as I mentioned early in the video, realized that this is a luxury item. There's no reason to pay $170 for a bit driver unless you want to, you know? It's just a cool thing that if you are interested in it, by all means get it. And if you feel like I don't want to pay $170 for a bit driver, I completely understand that sentiment as well. And it makes sense, but it's a cool piece of EDC that from a cool company with really good marketing, just again, refreshing marketing. It's lighthearted, it's humorous, and just fun. They make really good tools, really good looking tools, and just something cool to add to the collection, and something, again, I got the less flashy, more utilitarian look so that I can beat it up and use it. I'm definitely don't intend to just have this be a display piece. You know, this is going to be my main bit driver for disassembling and reassembling knives, and I won't have any worries if it gets scratched up or beat up, because that's what tools are intended for, even expensive tools. But let me know what you think about it, this particular model, or any of the other models if you have one. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Definitely check them out. I'll put the description, links in the description to both their Instagram and their website. The website is getgoodskrew.com, and that's screw with a K. So definitely check them out. But thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great one.